Hello and welcome to another episode of the Uncommon Energy Podcast. On this week's episode, we're going to look at the results from the Stuttgart Regional Championships, which took place this past weekend. We're going to talk about Azul's desire for chess clocks to come to the Pokemon TCG. Yet another discussion around time and the timer in Pokemon. How many times have we done that in the last year? It's been a lot. We will, of course, have
Couple.
that flavor text, everyone's favorite segment of the podcast. And we're going to wrap up this week by taking a look at Mega Dream, the brand new set out in Japan, and also a Champions League event happening this coming weekend, and give everyone a couple of our predictions for the event. And then, of course, we will have our bonus episode exclusive to our YouTube channel members and Spotify subscribers. If you want to get a little bit of extra content from us every single week, be sure to check those things out. Also, if you are listening on Spotify or if you're listening here on YouTube and you are not subscribed / following the podcast, double check. Make sure you are. Click that follow / subscribe button. That way you never miss an episode and also help us out a bunch. It could be your little like Christmas present to Azul and me. My name is G, joined here as always by my friend and co-host Azul GG. What's up, Azul? How you doing, buddy? How was your week? How was your Thanksgiving?
Pretty good, pretty good. Had dinner with Lorelei's family, as usual, and then this weekend did restream the Stuttgart Regional Championships, their tournament, their major in the Pokemon TCG, and one of the last couple for the rest of the year. The last one will coming up this weekend. With Aichi, like you mentioned, and that'll be it for about a month. So that's kind of a bummer with like my streaming and stuff. Is like no watch parties, not as many watch parties over the next a month and a half actually.
Gonna be a lot of
And
PTCG live in your future, my friends.
yeah, a lot of just PTCG live grinding, playing some online tournaments, stuff like that. But yeah, it's a fun event to watch for sure, especially with like the eventual winner and what Nikolai was playing and all that stuff. But we'll talk about that when we get there. But what about you, Chip? How was your Thanksgiving? What'd you get up to?
Yeah, Thanksgiving was good. Got together with my big extended family, as we do every single year. So that was a lot of fun. Um, Thomas, our 6 month old, tried something solid for the first time. He had sweet potatoes, of course, pureed up in baby form, and didn't really know what to make of it. Wasn't sure how to process this thing that was placed in his mouth against his will. But that is that is part of learning how to eat food. So yeah, it was fun. Just good time with family. Watched all football. A Clemson Tigers beat the South Carolina Gamecocks, our rival, and then also the Carolina Panthers stunned the Rams. Upset victory. We were 10-point underdogs and we won the game. Super sick, really fun to watch. So shout outs to my boy Bryce Young. There we
Your
go.
boy?
No, but I'm a Bry lever for sure. I'm a Bry lever.
I did
I'm
hear I forget where I heard it, something other the Panther are they're actually doing okay, right? Like, don't they have, like, playoff potential right now?
Yeah,
Or
well, part of it is because we're in the worst division in the NFL, or one of the worst divisions. So
yeah.
um we do have a real shot to make the playoffs. And part of that is because the other team that is the team that's currently in first place in our division, we play them twice in the last 4 games. So that, like, we're kind of like almost to control our own destiny. Like if we just beat
Yeah.
them 2 times, that will probably be enough separation for us to get in over them as the NFC South representative. So fingers
Alright.
crossed for sure.
We'll see how it goes. Alright. I was gonna say, is that
What
anything
were you
else
gonna say?
anything else exciting or ready to talk Stuttgart?
No, I think we're good. I tuned in, watched a little bit of Stuttgart. I watched your restream a bit. So we can just go ahead and hop into it and talk about the results from the event. We'll talk about the meta and stuff. But first off, I mean, I think the big story here has got to be the deck that won, Nikolai Stiborg with the Charizard Noctowl. Now, I feel like Azul, we've both been really hype on Dawn ever since the card got printed, but I feel like I remember you saying when we first saw this card, like that card seems like it would be really good in like that old Charizard Noctowl deck. I feel like
Yeah.
that was like a call out from you very early on, and it does win the first majors with the card legal.
Yeah, I didn't think there'd be 4 in the deck. I'll say that for sure. I did not predict 4. It seemed, like, really powerful as, like, a 1 of or 2 of. It seems really good with Noctowl in general if you're gonna be running stage 2s alongside Noctowl, so there's a lot of synergy there, and I have played a decent amount with the deck now, at this point, and it honestly seems pretty good. We'll talk about, Oyvind's build here in a little bit as well, but I think if you're gonna play a Charizard deck and you're basically sacrificing the Dragapult matchup, I think this is the way to do it. So it did come out over against 2 Dragapults
Hmm.
in top cut. But was
Matchup
confirmed
still
by
seems tough.
yeah,
Yeah.
was confirmed by the creator of the deck, Oscar Madsen, who I think gets full credit for the deck list here. Of course, Nikolai, no disrespect to the pilot, but he was in my chat and he said, yeah, the matchup's like pretty terrible. And if you watch the finals, I didn't realize this in the finals. Alexander did not phantom dive a single time in the finals. So and on top of that, actually,
The
just while we're
finals
on
was
it,
over pretty fast.
yeah, Alexander played a lot on stream and won a lot on stream, but his openings were atrocious in most of his games. It was actually so it was pretty impressive to see him all make it all the way to the finals with the kind of starts he was having in the stream matches. Could not do it in the finals. Couldn't pull it off against the Charizard deck. But yeah, I think this deck is really powerful. Um, it's really cool to see a new archetype. Not a new archetype. Well, Charizard Noctowl has been a deck for a while. It's just been not great. People have tried it with like Water Pawn as well, but I think Dawn
Yeah.
really is the missing piece. So it's really, really cool to see something new, something fresh, getting this first dub in this format.
Yeah, Dawn is like the consistency engine of this deck. Yeah, really, really cool. It was fun to watch for sure to see this deck in action, and I'm definitely something I'd like to give a try. And there's some other Charizard decks we'll talk about a little bit here as well. But before we go any further, let's just talk quickly about the metagame at the event. Gholdengo continues to separate itself as the number one deck of this format, most popular, and also having very consistent, solid finishes. And then a kind of trend we've seen in Europe is that Gardevoir is a little bit less popular, and then Dragapult is a little bit more popular or like more successful, it seems, over in Europe compared to our tournaments.
Well, the Guardy variants are split. I would say success wise, yeah, but Guardy was more popular at this tournament, or about as popular as it was at Vegas. Um,
Well, I guess the difference here is like Guardy Jellicent has jumped Gardevoir, right? That and
Okay, if
that's
you're
the
just
first
talking
time
about
we've seen
just
that,
guard
right?
four.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sure. I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I kind of like think of them as kind of like a single archetype most of the time, and like usually the Guardy players are pretty fluid with like bouncing around between jelly and non-jelly, depending on the format and the metagame. Um, going all the way to the point where they put Turbo Energize in their deck sometimes as well, but they'll bounce around a little bit for the most part. Um, but yeah, Guardy. I think one thing is true for sure as on the success side of things. I mean, we saw Rune win one of the early European tournaments, but since then, over in Europe specifically, like you mentioned, like it feels like Guardy has kind of taken a back seat in terms of performance to Gholdengo and Dragapult for the most part
Yeah.
at all the recent tournaments. Those two have kind of come out on top more often than not, except for like I said, Rune did win Frankfurt. Yeah, Rune took down Frankfurt with Gardevoir earlier on in the season. Um, and even though the Gardevoir archetypes make up a large popularity between the both of them, yeah, overall it was a little bit underwhelming weekend from them in Europe once again. And under that, honestly, there's just kind of a massive drop off. Like if you like Gardevoir is the same meta percentage as Mega Absol basically, but if you put Jelly Guardy and Guardy together, it's like 13-14%, and then that would surpass Charizard, and then Charizard's like 10%, and then it's a 5% drop off to Mega Absol box, which had a pretty horrible weekend overall.
I was just a little early with my call on the deck.
Yeah, yeah, you have to wait for Mega Diancie to come out. But I think that probably is one of the main reasons for potentially. But I think so. It's not really a lack of play because it's been around that 5-6%, so it's still kind of around the same percentage. But I didn't see as many big name players on it. I feel like throughout the weekend, so it seems like and those are usually the better players in the game are the ones who are going to be a little bit more in tune into making those meta predictions and meta calls. Um, and yeah, we didn't see be super successful. Mega Dante is obviously like a new piece that Gardevoir has to kind of tackle the matchup. I don't know if it like makes it just like favored for Gardevoir 100%. It was already felt like 50-50 to Gardevoir favored depending on the Gardevoir list. So Mega Dante was in most of the Gardevoir decks, it looked like, at least the successful ones. So that maybe just puts it over the top. So and led to the 46% win rate there from Mega Absol.
Dude, what the heck happened to Zorarch? Look at this. 36%
Yes.
win rate. Oh my
It could be
gosh. Ow!
another victim of Mega Diancie, to be honest. That might be what we're seeing here. Um, the dark decks are just taking a massive hit. It's funny though. I think Grimmsnarl kind of just maintained its course in being an extremely mediocre deck. Once again, oh, yeah, still sticking around. 47% win rate. I think it's conversion rate. Yeah, the conversion rate. Oh wait, go to conversion rate. Actually, go to metagame and go to conversion rate.
Yeah,
And look
yeah,
at
yeah.
Zorark's conversion rate.
It's not good. 2%.
It's so bad. Now I will
2%.
say a lot of Zorark's success does ride on the really good players who play Zorark to show up to the event and play Zorark, right? The players who make top cut with Zorark like are some of the best players in the world most of the time. Like these are names everyone knows, right? It's not some name that we haven't seen before showing up and making top cut with Zorark. So like if the best players in the game aren't playing Zorark and showing up to the tournament, I mean the 2% conversion rate is kind of criminal, but like I'm not surprised to not see it make top cut specifically. But maybe it is just not that good right now, right? Like the Mega Diancie might just be the piece Gardevoir needs to like fully make it the truly best, most dominant deck of all time. The options, we'll talk about that a little bit more when we take a look at some of these Guardy lists, I guess. But yeah, that might be the nail in the coffin for some of the dark decks for the future.
Second place was Alexander Rutowitz, who is on an insane run so far
Yep.
this season. Got the dub in Lille, top 64 placement in Gdansk, and then yeah, gets second place here with yep, that is
M60
definitely that is a Dragapult deck list right there.
definitely looks like it. Yeah, I think it's literally the exact same 60 that he's been running at every single event. Has not changed a single
Oh
card.
my gosh. Look, I just clicked on the limitless page for this list.
Oh,
Hold on. Ready?
mm,
Oh
very
my
nice. Wait, is this the biggest
gosh.
ever?
It's gotta be up there, but part of it is also just, like, the day 2s are so much bigger and bigger and bigger,
Yeah.
like, there's just gonna be more people whose names are represented here, but, I mean, there's a lot of really good placements here too. So,
Look at Nikolai even played it down there in Gdansk.
yeah.
227th. Then he upgraded to a real deck, a Charizard deck. Got the dub.
And then Alexander was not the only Polt player, there was a couple other Polts, we've got Christian D'Onofrio and Paulo Camus in top cut as well. Yet again, it's a
There's a Dawn.
there's a Dawn.
There's a Dawn.
But, I mean, it's like we cut a Brock scouting for a Dawn, it's like revolutionary stuff
Only
happening
one
in the
dust
Dragapult
swaps.
Dusknoir world, okay?
That's the same 60, I think.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
Yeah. Mm. And then we did have the you checking to make sure they weren't all the same 60?
No, no. What's
Oh,
up?
okay. Well, we already talked about Charizard, so we could talk about the other Charizard, I guess, real fast before we get into the Gholdengos. I
Yeah,
guess it was
sure.
kind of and looking at it now, it was a pretty underwhelming top cut. There was 3 archetypes, right?
Yeah.
Alt Zard, Gholdengo. And the other Zard here was from Oyvind, who is Uh, pretty known for playing Charizard top 8 at Worlds. I think
Yep.
has another top cut this season as well with Charizard with a similar list as well. Rocking the Mesagoza, the Secret Box, and like I said, like this Zard build and then the Zard build that Nikolai won with, like they both feel like you're just kind of losing to Dragapult. You're kind of like you no Psyduck, no Mist Energy. This
Yeah.
build here, no healing as well, no Monkey Dory, no Picnic Basket. Like you're just like I'm gonna lose to Pult, but then I'm gonna make my deck as good as possible to beat everything else. And this is like another version of a Charizard deck with kind of that intent in mind. But like I said, I think the Noctowl build just does it better. Like I think the Noctowl build does do it a little bit better. To come out on top of Kai there, actually. So it was able to take out one of the Dragapults.
Yeah.
I think this build does have a better Dragapult matchup than the Noctowl build, but they're both pretty unfavored. You got the team Evos, so you can get off the ground a little bit more consistently.
Yeah. What do you mean? You don't need Team Evo when you got 4 Dawn, buddy.
Or no Pidgeotto. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Pidgeotto seems like it would be helpful here.
Be pretty good. It could be only one Charmeleon,
Uh,
but it doesn't matter because in every other matchup, you don't need those things. The deck just kind of runs over most other decks. So
yeah.
yeah, and then there was a lot of Golden Go in
Bro, I
cut.
guess maybe against Polt you can just like start swinging. I mean, you've got Tropicos and Fanrod. I'm just start getting in there, right? Like,
It's pretty bad.
no.
You can, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. You will eventually lose though.
But then, yeah, the other archetype here in Cut, we've got four Golden Go players, and a lot different between these lists. I mean, I
A little
guess
different,
why don't we start here
most
at
different.
the most different one?
Yeah. Which is a Joltik Golden Go take. And this one's actually pretty interesting. Like, there's like a decent amount different from most builds of Joltik Golden Go that I feel like I've seen in the past.
There's a Galvantula
Um,
EX in here.
yeah, we've seen the 3 Golden Go before. This list only has 3 Golden Go. I don't think I've ever seen a list with 3 Gimme Ghoul, but there's 3 Gimme Ghoul. So the thin Golden Go line for the 1 hit KO potential through that. Then there is not just the Galvantula, there's also Ursaluna, 2 cards you usually don't see in this deck because Golden Go is supposed to be that Pokemon for you.
Right.
But they are a little bit lower maintenance, especially in the late game. Ursaluna 1 energy plus a boss, Chaos Fez for the win. The Golden Go needs quite a bit more to actually get there. And the Galvantula as well, for its first attack, you can't use the second attack, but Lightning and Colorless, it's a Pokemon EX or V. If they're somehow cheating, you may as well be able to beat them. You're KOing Fez with this as well. So you got that going for you. The Galvantula EX, though, like, and the Ursaluna, they're both a little redundant, right? Because when you're going to be using Galvantula, Ursaluna probably does the same thing. Golden Go can literally do but what both of those Pokemon do for you as well. So but they are more efficient. So a little bit of it feels a little redundant, but they're definitely more efficient. Definitely an interesting take on the deck though, for sure. A couple interesting inclusions. It would have been cool to see a fighting energy in here. So you could hit him with the was it Fulgurite? That was one of yours?
Fulgurite.
Yeah. 180 item lock.
Remember when you cheated against me with this card in the Evolution series?
So with this one?
Yeah.
What did I do?
You didn't discard all energy. You were just discarding
Oh,
3. Got to keep
yeah.
your eye on this guy, folks. Got to keep your eye on this guy.
I was trying to sneak that extra energy on my Galvantula EX.
And then I guess I misspoke when talking about the difference of because I think 2 of these are like very, very similar, right? The Golden
They all have a
Go.
little differences. Like this build here, this was from was it Ufe? Played the Monkey Dory as the healing card over the picnic basket,
Mhm.
included the Lana's Aid. So like Monkey Dory and Lana's Aid are both pretty cool against the Jellicent build of Guardy. The little bit of the constant healing with Monkey Dory and being able to like KO them with like Soul Rock more easily, like Vitality Band plus Soul Rock plus Monkey Dory KOs a Jellicent with oh no, it doesn't quite get through the what was I thinking? No, it kills the Soul Rock. My bad. I'm thinking about like Soul Rock's HP. In the mirror match, if their Soul Rock punches your Soul Rock, you can go Monkey Dory, Vitality Band, KO their Soul Rock back for a 1 hit. So Monkey Dory can be like a mirror match tech. Also kind of cool against Jellicent. Delana's 8 is cool against Jellicent. And then also has a Premium Power Pro. So this build here, I feel like is decently teched out for the mirror match, actually, between the Monkey Dory and the Premium Power Pro. And then has Delana's 8 there for the Jellicent matchup. Does not have a Cornerstone tech, though. So taking the call on the lack of Cornerstone being good. And honestly, it's a pretty good prediction. Mega Absol is really the only Cornerstone deck in the format and did not do very well at all. And honestly, like thinking about it with Mega Diancie coming out and everything in the Guardy decks, that seems like a pretty reasonable prediction, to be honest, that Mega Absol would probably have a pretty underwhelming tournament run. So you don't need that tech.
Yeah, and like the fact that Lopunny comes out as well, like the built-in
Yeah.
cornerstone answer for a lot of the decks that could have problems with it. Then
Yeah.
we got Daniel Magda still on a sick run. He's kind of emerging as one of the top European players. He's now just in his second year as a Masters Division player. I think he's probably already put himself solidly in that like top 10 European player
Yeah.
conversation right
For
now,
sure.
probably higher, honestly. So cool to see him continuing to have success. And he is a big advocate for the Mega Mawile EX. Was
Yeah.
not a fan of the Lopunny, all about Mega Mawile.
In the secret box as well, still rocking that. So yeah, did bring the Cornerstone tech, which is also like another thing you could probably rely on as a Golden Go player. It's like if I don't play the Cornerstone tech, I know other Golden Go players will play it, and that will further diminish the effectiveness of Cornerstone's potential in the tournament. Yeah, staying true with the Mega Mawile and the secret box here. I think only changed 2 cards, added a Call for Family Gimme Ghoul, and then cut the Petrol for a Fighting Gong, I believe, were the 2 changes from his winning list
Had to
just
get
a
that
couple
petrol
weeks
out of
ago.
here.
Yeah, gotta get rid of the Petrol. It's gotta go.
And then last list was from Drew Stevenson here with the Mega Mawile as well. Also has the secret box and picnic basket.
Yeah, did go a little bit further in terms of teching for Jellicent, though. Has a little Avencia plus a couple Lightning, which is also a pretty cool combo against Dragapult as well, I'll say, because it allows you to do like the secret box combo to get superior energy retrieval plus Lavencia. That's 6 energy, so you just need a couple more energy to want to KO a Dragapult in the late game. So you can pull that combo together against Dragapult. It's not just good against Jellicent. Also did only rock the 3 Golden Go. I didn't actually realize
Yeah.
that. Only had the 3 Golden Go there, which is something we saw pop up from Benny Billinger at LAIC. And I actually
Yeah.
tried it out recently myself, and it didn't feel terrible. Like, it just kind of feels fine. It didn't feel like you are hurting for that extra Golden Go.
One other Gholdengo list I want to look at here was Owen Camerman's top 16 list because this one is pretty different. It's got the
Yep.
Lopunny in here, Hops Cramorant as the Mirror Tech, and then also the Prime Catcher, A Spec, and a Technical Machine Evolution. A lot of different things happening here.
Yeah. Has a Cramorant for the potential mirror tech. I still don't know what is the most effective mirror tech or if it's even worth teching for mirror, to be honest. But Cramorant can come up in other situations as well. Like, you can play like a one prize board state longer in other matchups potentially. Like
Probably
against
pretty good
Sarah
against like
Ledge.
Charizard or something like that, right?
Yeah, you can maybe have it work there. Does have the Mega Lopunny here, Lopunny here, Team Evolution. And then the only card that I feel like is missing, like, dude, I just like feel like it's so, I don't know. I hate using the word greedy, but like, why is there not an Ultra Ball in here over one of these Nest Balls? Like, should we not be able to Ultra Ball for a Mega Lopunny here? Like, why are we like limiting ourselves on that potential? Obviously, the Team Evo gets it out, but if like we don't get Team Evo turn one, but we still want to find the bunny, where's our Ultra Ball
Yeah, maybe it's one of those things where it's like you don't have to find it aggressively in the matchups you want it, so you can like Evo it out. But I feel
later?
like it would be a nice option to have as like that late game. All I need is boss's orders on a Pheasantipity type card, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And like it would be
Um,
nice to be able to Ultra Ball it for it in that instance, like set it up prematurely, preemptively.
yeah, but this is kind of like the list that I thought we'd maybe see a little bit more of. Would be more builds like this with the low punny. Whether or not you play the prime catcher, I think is still up in the air. But it does seem like there's definitely a split on what people think is most effective in the deck right now to have like a mix of like a powerful attacking option plus cornerstone. And I think there was even a list pretty high up here that was still playing the Mega Lucario as well. So like Mega Lucario has not been given up on yet, I don't think.
Yeah, I definitely still like the idea of the Lucario. This is Tamal's list. Pretty straightforward here with the Hops Kramer. This looks like Caleb's list. I guess has the Lana Zaid in here. Caleb didn't play that, right?
No, 4 boss as well, which I actually really like. I really like the 4 boss. Dude, boss is just so, it's just
Yeah.
like I don't know, it's such an insane card.
Yeah, Miloslav, I imagine, was playing the same 60 as Daniel.
Yep. Same 60 there. And we didn't see any Guardies in cut. Oh, there it is. Trolley Mega Lucario. So still
Scrapper as
seeing
well.
some success. Yeah, I had the scrapper in there too. Um and that's like one thing I like kind of took note of when I looked at this list. It was like it doesn't feel like you're really gaining that much space. Like when you look at this list compared to the other lists, it's like where's the space going? That we're like, we don't have to play as many Pokemon, basic Pokemon search cards because we're playing the trolley. And it's like, what are we getting for it? Tool scrapper? They're like forced to play the one with Lucario. The Iron Bundle, the aggressive Iron Bundle combo through Trolley is kind of cool, of course.
Yeah.
For the turn one Soul Rock attack, you get a more effective turn one Soul Rock attack, but it feels like you're just not gaining enough by playing Trolley over the Prime Catcher or the Secret Box.
All right, so where do you land right now? Best A spec in Gholdengo.
If we're playing Soul Rock Lunatone, I think it is probably. It feels like it's Secret Box. I think it's weaker in the mirror, but yeah, like after playing with it, it doesn't even feel that good. But then the more you play with it, you're like, it just feels like it's more impactful. Like I feel like I'm not losing games or losing I'm not winning that many more games because I have Prime Catcher, but I'm actually winning a decent amount more games because of the secret box. Which yeah, my win rate, it feels like my win rate is just going up a little bit.
I want to believe in the Prime Catcher. I feel like that should feel like the most powerful
Yeah.
card,
You
but
think.
Secret Box is kind of like the boring answer, but like maybe it's just the right answer, you know?
Yeah, I also think because you have so many boss and because you can play through different kinds of board states, like a one prize or a multi-prize board state, you have a lot
Mhm.
more control of the prize exchange just by KOing their active every turn. So, like, the aggressiveness of the prime catcher doesn't matter as much because you can play through that one prize board state in a lot of situations where you would otherwise lose. You would otherwise lose because you couldn't get like a more aggressive two prize knockout or a more impactful, KO their lone Charmander off the bench or something like that that you can with the prime catcher. But it doesn't matter because you can KO their Pidgey in the active, and you only have one prize in place, so they can't take advantage of a two prizer off your bench anyways.
While there were not any Gardevoirs in Top Cut, there was a couple just outside. We got Kim Pobega at 10th place, one of the most consistent players over in Europe, it feels like. And then also Rune,
Yeah.
also with the top 16 finish, both with Guardy Jellicent.
I actually heard a funny story about some of the ties that happened. Unconfirmed, but the players who talked about him are pretty credible. Apparently Kim ID'd thinking he was gonna get top cut.
Oh, and
So
Rune as well thought so.
no, I think Rune was fine to like take the top 16 tie. So
What?
yeah. And there was a chance that the record did make cut, but it was like unlikely. Um for sure unlikely. But yeah, there's some funky tie-in going on in the last round.
Sheesh.
Um,
Yeah,
in
they
that
thought they were
one.
going to be at 33 match points. So what did they need? They needed like two tables to
34.
tie.
Yeah, they need one, maybe just one more table to side. One or two more tables to die, yeah. I guess it had to be two. Yeah, it had to be two. Um, so yeah, but like you mentioned, yeah, Kim is always up there, either around top cut or in cut. Could have maybe seen him in cut this time around, without the ID. Not 100% confirmed, but pretty credible sources were mentioning it in my chat. So, but yeah, we did see that adjustment to the Guardy decks. We mentioned some of the dark decks struggling. Is it because of Mega Diancie? I mean, it could be, and we see it here in the top placing Guardy deck here. It is like I mean, it's Guardy Jelly just with a Diancie, and that's it.
Yeah, 2-2 jelly in that list from Kim as well, which is pretty
Yeah,
interesting. This one here with Rune. Got the Team Turbo Energize in
yeah,
here.
which does synergize pretty well with Mega Diancie. I will say this. I think this list from Rune probably I just don't believe it. Listen, I actually have never seen the matchup play out. I would love to see it end up on stream once. I don't believe that these builds of Guardy are favored against Dragapult. I think Dragapult is favored against these kind of builds of Guardy. No Team Evo, 2-1-2 Guardy line.
I could see the
Like,
2-2 Jellicent being
I mean,
enough.
the one thing they have going for them is they can turn one Frillish, right? They
Yeah,
can kind of do what Dragapult, but Dragapult, the deck is built to like function under item lock. Like maybe a little bit less so now because there's less Dragapult mirror, so the Dragapult players are less concerned about mirror match, so they're playing like less Brocks or whatever it might be, right? They still have their Hildas and stuff.
they
Like
still
I feel
got
like
Hilda, yeah.
yeah, their deck just functions better under item lock. I do not believe that these builds of Gardevoir are favored against Dragapult. If you do go down, scroll down further amongst the higher placing Guardies, there we do start to see some builds that seem to be a little bit more stable. Like there we go, the 3-2-2 plus a TM Evo plus an Arvin. Like these builds seem a little bit like they probably are favored against Dragapult, but I think that definitely leads to like some of its success overall. Like Dragapult still like if the Guardian players like full respected Dragapults, like all of them did across the board, I think we would see less success for Dragapult. So I think that is still like one of the things that Dragapult is kind of leaning on. Because I think Dragapult is unfavored against Gholdengo. I think it's unfavored against um Gardevoir, depending on the build. But the Gardevoir players are not overly respecting Dragapult, which I guess I can't really blame them for not overly respecting Dragapult, because like I said, it's also unfavored against Gholdengo. So Dragapult in general feels like it's kind of weak
Yeah, we have
in the current
Bastien
format.
Lamotte up here at what 7-2 with Mega Sharpedo? Are you kidding me?
There we go.
Oh, did not
Oh
end
my
up very good though.
god.
Yikes, that is a rough
Too
day
many,
too.
yeah, 024. Oh no. With the Sharpedo. I mean, but listen,
Oh,
but the
love to see the
potential was
believer
there.
though.
The potential was there, right? Some of those ties were if we get to finish some of those sets, maybe just a lack of urgency. Gotta go a little faster with the Sharpedo.
Well, let's recap our predictions here. First one was going to be highest placing new archetype. Azul, you said Mega Lopunny. I said Mega Sharpedo. I don't think it's Mega Sharpedo, but I don't know that it's Mega Lopunny. Was there
It
something that was
is
higher?
27th or 28th. It's Mega Lopunny.
Ah,
Lopunny.
Lopunny.
Is it Lopunny or
28.
Lopunny?
I think it's Lopunny, but I'm not 100% sure. I could look it
See,
up.
I think I started saying Lopunny because of you, but everyone in my chat tells me it's not Lopunny, it's Lopunny.
I could be wrong. I'm not a perfect person.
Oh, you
What's up?
I mean, sometimes with the Pokemon translations, you
Well,
act like you know.
I'm
What?
when I know it, when I know it for sure, I'm gonna make sure that it's right.
Of course, Lopunny, Lopunny. Actually, I don't know how it's pronounced. I'm sure I got that from you though, Lopunny, because
Probably.
Lopunny is definitely how I used to pronounce it. And I started saying Lopunny, so I was like, this has to be something I picked up from Chip, or Chip told me.
It's Lopunny.
All right, so my chat's wrong. Good to
Yeah,
know. Although,
Lopunny.
yeah, Lopunny.
If you're ever not sure how to pronounce a Pokemon's name, the
Ooh,
list on Cerebi is the exact same as like the official list. So Lopunny.
Bronzor, Stuntank, Stunky,
Ambipom, not Ambipom. Ambipom.
Ambipom, Ambipom. Well, that works too. Ambipom,
Churim,
Charim.
not Cherim. Churim. Cherubi. Churim.
I don't know about the Charim. What?
Churim.
It's not Charim.
Churim.
How are they getting Charim from that?
It's because I think it's supposed to be the same as Cherubi. Cherubi.
Oh,
Churim.
That's a lot. Does two R's make that sound? I think it should be just one R there then.
Well, that's how they spelled it, and that's how they want you to pronounce
Well,
it.
they're
So
wrong, so they
it's so
messed
funny
up.
to see some of the comments on those posts because Pokemon's been kind of leaning into it now with like the mispronounced Pokemon ever since Worlds when the thing kind of popped up on social
Rayquaza?
media with like Rayquaza. Yeah.
Yeah.
So many people replying to that were like, I can't believe they don't know how to pronounce their own like creatures' names, like how these things don't work. Like, this is why, because of the way the language is written. Like, all right, buddy. Sure.
Alright, sure, buddy. They didn't just invent a creature out of thin air or anything like that.
Yeah.
This is definitely
Uh,
something, factual we're basing everything off, but, yeah, but
we did see
Megalopony.
a little bit from this list over the weekend, right?
Yeah, Stefan From, had a pretty good start. This is not Stefan here, this is Simon who ends up being the highest placing, but Stefan From started 7-1
It's a
with,
world champion right there, right? Or second place at Worlds?
yeah, 2007, right?
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah. I think it's 2007. Did he get second or did he get first? I can't remember.
2nd, I believe. Was that Stefan? No, I'm not sure if it's
I think
Stefan or not.
so.
I think it was though, yeah. So that's really cool. I mean, we've just been seeing so much of that, of players coming back into the game.
Yeah. Stefan from with Flygon. This is a really fun deck to play, by the way. 2007 is kind of a interesting format to play every once in a while. If you've never played it before, but it's like
I don't think I've ever played 2007.
it's the kind of and the thing that makes this format unique is that there's no strong hand disruption. So people just
Mm.
build these like 15, 20 card hands that they're playing out of through the whole game.
Is there any weak hand disruption?
Yes, and some people, like our friend Pablo Mesa and Diego Casiraga, used it in their deck at Worlds this year, which was
Mm.
Vaporeon EX. When you evolve it, you have your opponent shuffle their hand in and draw 4 cards.
See,
So
I'm
it's like,
surprised there wasn't more, and the Umbreon had the gust effect, right?
yeah,
Umbreon the one with
Umbreon
the gust?
EX. Yep.
Yeah, I'm surprised, like, when I've gone back and read those specifically, I'm surprised, like, more decks did not play, like, a Eevee line for the disruption in the gust, like, when there's no gust and well, there was, like, before this format, there was admin, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So this is kinda cool.
I just recently bought a Jolteon Gold Star within the last few months to complete this specific deck for the 2007 Worlds format. Fun fact.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played 2007 actually, to be honest, now that you're bringing it up.
So yeah, cool. Always cool to see someone. How did he finish? From the someone from like the older
28.
days come out and do pretty well. And yeah, the solid top 128 finish.
And no ties, love to see the no ties.
Beat Jesper as well. Love to see it, of course.
Free dub, free dub. Love to pick that extra buy up when you can.
And that extra buy is crazy. All right, next prediction was, ooh, this is a fun one. I'm looking forward to this. How many Battle Cage would there be in Top Cut? Azul's favorite
No!
card.
Ah,
Don't worry, buddy. Its time will come for sure, right?
maybe, we'll see. And like I say, I think the best way to play it is some kinda quad battle cage
Hey,
or
there was a
one up
decent
in that
amount of people who
Pidgeot.
played it. All every single Alakazam player had this card in their deck, though. Apparently.
Apparently not actually, I heard I heard Rune lost to an Alakazam without battle cage,
Oh my
which
gosh.
I don't know if we can go back and confirm
Oh, we can
that.
definitely go back and confirm. He
Mm,
tied it.
tied it. Okay, okay, okay. Was there battle cage? Confirm this.
Cageless Zam.
Losing to Cageless Zam with Guardy. Interesting. Yeah, Zam was actually 3% of the metagame at the tournament, which is that's I mean, the deck definitely got some big buffs, right? Battle Cage, Dawn, big buffs for Alakazam.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's competitive still. Like, I don't know if we're going to be like expecting a top cut out of Alakazam, but definitely some major improvements for the deck with this new set. I don't think it's pushing it over the top though.
And then our last prediction was pick a player to make top cut. Azul went with a boring answer of Tord, who did not make top cut, but he did play a super cool deck. And this is something we've talked about before, like at these tournaments, always looking at like what the best players chose to play, even if they
Yeah.
didn't do super well. Like Tord, I'm sure here not super pumped with his 300th place finish, but probably had a good time playing a unique deck. And I've seen over the last couple days on your stream, you've actually been playing this deck a good bit, right?
Yeah. No, I do like it a lot. I have made some changes to the overall build, but it's still got the same vibe. Obviously, like you got at the core of it, it's a Charizard Pidgeot EX deck. And then you have the big one hit KO potential in the mid game with the Charizard X. It's actually not even that good of a late game attacker. It really is a mid game attacker to get those big one hit KOs on like other Charizards and Dragapults, stuff like that. And then the Mega Lopunny, also a solid attacker. The 230, KOing Fezzes, Latiases, just putting some pressure on. The one matchup where this deck really struggles, and it's bad to struggle against such a deck, is Gholdengo. You do have the unfair stamp in there. So like the line is like they take an early Solrock KO and you go Candy Charizard unfair stamp or like Charmeleon to Charizard unfair stamp. But finding the unfair stamp means you kind of have to set up Pidgeot to get there. So it's like a lot of pressure in the early game. I added like a Chi-Yu most recently to my build to see if it helps that matchup at all, but haven't actually ran into any since I added it. So I'm not sure if it makes a difference, but it's a cool deck. Overall for sure.
And I picked Robin, and Robin did not make day two, but I looked, and Robin actually did play the same 60 as Tord for the event.
Yeah.
So no big surprise. Any other cool decks we should take a look at, Azul, before we move on here?
Go for a quick scroll. There was Fabian was back at it with
Oh,
the
I want to
oh,
look at
go ahead.
a little a tank Kangaskhan with the jumbo ice cream.
Yeah. Jumbo ice cream. Also a card that is kind of like maybe we just need more development in the format, but like Jumbo ice cream is like a very good card.
Hmm.
Uh I mean, I've been trying it out with the Mega Kangaskhan. I actually been able to find anything else that I feel like it works with. So maybe it's just like it's a good card, but like nothing works with it right now. Cause yeah, I haven't been able to find I don't know what the best thing to run it with, I guess. That's what I'm kind of trying to figure out still. It's really good with Kangaskhan, but that's about it. It's good with Crustle.
Yeah,
They
Crustle,
have to play Crustle.
Hydrapple EX.
Don't even know if it'd be that good with Hydrapple EX, to be honest.
Probably not.
A good card, kind of waiting for its moment, I think. I don't think it is Tank Kangaskhan. The deck's like fine. It's like nothing super special.
Slacking EX here.
From Bernardo, who I think maybe has now replaced the highest placing of ever in a tournament with Slacking with another placement with Slacking here. So
Love to see
the
it.
continues to bring Slacking to tournaments and be pretty successful with them, to be honest. For like an archetype that is like not played at all. He's the only one kind of doing it.
Do you think we'll see more from this Lopunny deck in the format now that we've seen a couple people have success with it? Like, is it going to be
I think so, yeah.
something that becomes like 7-8% meta deck at some point?
Yeah, I could see it getting up there for sure. I mean, the deck is pretty solid. Like, it is a decent deck, so I could for sure see it making its way to those numbers, um, at some point. It does need to kind of improve a little bit more, I guess. Like, that's one of those things where, like, the popularity of a deck, like, the proof of concept is, like, usually pretty important for decks to, like, catch on. Sometimes there's something that's just, like, obviously good and there's a lot of hype behind it, and then if it feels really good, it'll kind of, like, immediately gain that popularity. But stuff like the Mega Lopunny deck, it doesn't feel, like, extremely broken or powerful, so it's not like, "Oh, yeah, this is, like, winner for sure." Like, there's no reason to not pick this up and try it out. It's like, it's another fine deck, and it hasn't really proved itself, so might take a while. Like, by the time Toronto comes around, I don't think it will have, like, gained a ton of popularity. Um, yeah.
Well, there was a bit of a discussion generated post this event, generated by you, Azul.
I did not mean
Posted
to.
You posted that after watching the stream this weekend, the only conclusion I came to was that we need chess clocks in the game.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be a sarcastic tweet because if you've ever been in my stream before when this topic has ever come up, you know I think chess clocks are a silly solution to the current state of, and I don't even think like the current state of time in the Pokemon TCG is that bad. But I think it could be better. The answer is not best of one. I don't know why this keeps people keep talking about best of one, but things like um enforcing stricter pace of play,
I think that's the thing that is like
yeah,
the main answer, to be
remove
honest.
remove prize checking or let people look at their prize cards when they start the match. Even maybe try and get a little bit more time in there, 55 minutes plus one, maybe. If tournaments start to get ran more efficiently, maybe there's something like that in the future. And then also it comes down to the players as well, though. Like you see some of these really good players on stream, so we know what the ceiling is. You watch like the two I've referenced most recently, or two or three, Emma, Piper, Henry. Like you watch these players play, and they're like super quick. They're not, wasting time. Part of it is they're really good and they're very familiar with their deck, but there's nothing stopping a lesser player from simply playing faster. Even these really good players, like the ones I just mentioned, the faster they play, their accuracy goes down. And what I mean by accuracy is like making the best play in the moment, right? On this turn, what is the best play? The faster you play, your chance of making the best play goes down. And that's true for the best players in the world and the worst players in the world. So there's no reason that any player can't just like start playing faster and just try and make the right calls under pressure. And that's something I've been bringing up a lot during my watch parties is um, a lack of urgency from players. Like players are not playing to win the match, which like if you really don't want to, that's fine. Like you don't have to play faster. If you want to play at the pace of play that you're currently playing at, you can. You're just not going to win this match. You're going to tie or you're going to get 1-0'd. So um that's part of the responsibility comes down to the players, and maybe that's part of it. The players just don't want to take responsibility. That could be part of why people are feel like this is such a big problem, or feel like the community is making this a bigger problem than it actually is, in my opinion. And maybe part of the reason is that people don't want to be responsible for having to play faster. But none of y'all out there are playing fast enough. I don't play fast enough when I play in tournaments. I should be playing faster. I could be
Dude,
playing faster.
Azul
Um,
plays so slow, dude. Holy cow.
so like part of it is also on us as well as the players. Like we should just be playing faster, just like play faster. That's something I've been trying to do a lot more in my recent tournaments that I played at the end of last season was just playing faster, right? Trying to play 3 games of Pokemon, give myself the best chance to win the match. So can put that on ourselves a little bit as the players, but I think there's still room to improve the best 2 out of 3 format, stricter on the time.
I really just want this whole like 2 minutes on the first turn thing to just be nipped in the bud. Like, I think
Yeah,
that there needs to be something written in the rules, or it just needs to be start to be enforced differently by judges. And I think it like would have to come from like head judge at event says this is how we're doing things this
yep.
weekend, and I would be like super down for that change to happen. Um, Another thing as well, like in Japan, Hegster actually told me this. You're not allowed, like, a lot of times people like move their Pokemon to the front, energies to the
Yeah, they
back.
can't rearrange the deck.
You're not allowed to rearrange your deck during a search in Japan. Probably partially because like they also don't have to actually shuffle their decks in Japan. It's like so keep it as randomized as possible, right? No, a joke, a joke, a joke.
Don't make any clumps. I mean, they do not randomize
They go
efficiently
like
in Japan a lot of time. Now I will say that's
yeah,
usually like when you see like the higher level play, they get to the later rounds in the tournament. The players are pretty proficient with their shuffling,
yeah,
but
yeah,
there is
yeah.
definitely lacking for the average and like below players in Japan for sure.
So I think something like that would also be worth potentially doing. Also, another thing as well, and I don't really know that I've seen too many people talk about this, but this is definitely a very real thing. Um, if you're watching your opponent prize check and they're playing like Dragapult or Gholdengo, right? And they're moving cards to the back. Like everyone does this thing now where they put the Pokemon at the front and the energy at the back. You can count how many cards they put at the back, and you can instantly know if they have any energy cards prized. And
Well,
like
you don't know what's in their hand though.
it's true, but you can make it gives you some information to potentially work with, right?
Well, maybe. I always overcount. So, yeah, whenever I
Sure.
do that, I overcount the front and the back of my deck, so people don't know if they can't try and get a count on it. So it's
So
harder to do than you
you've thought
think.
ahead of
I've
the
already thought of that, yeah. Um, I mean, the not moving cards in the deck, I think, is a little silly. It'd be so hard to enforce. Like, I don't think we need to go that far. Um, but yeah, we should either be allowing extra time to price check or we shouldn't. How you do it doesn't really matter. It should exist or it shouldn't. I think it could exist to an extent, but it'd be good to know what that number is. How much time should we actually be getting here? Maybe it should just be no time. Maybe it should just be every search should be just like a normal search, and get players playing the game a little bit more. I will say, like at watching this last couple events, I feel like even the players that were prize checking more thoroughly. They were a lot more proficient with it. Like it felt like they were done. Definitely, I was under 2 minutes for sure. You know, it was maybe even under a minute sometimes. But
that's a
um,
lot of time, buddy.
yeah. So I don't know. The answer also like I don't know. Maybe some people truly believe this is the answer. I think people just don't know better. It's definitely like the grass is always greener type situation. Best of one is not the answer. I don't think you guys realize how miserable you'll be playing best of one in tournaments. And listen, maybe you truly believe you won't be, or you don't think it is, or maybe you think I'm just wrong. But I think it really is a grass is always greener type situation where people think that best of one would be better. It is so much worse. I don't think people understand how much worse best of one is than best two out of three, even in the
Well,
current state of best two out of three.
it's not uncommon. I don't know how known this is. We've maybe talked about it on the podcast before. I don't remember, but it's like not uncommon, like at the top level, for people to gentlemen's best of one. So
Yeah, it
instead of
happens.
playing a best of three, they just sit down and they say, "Hey, before we flip, would you be down to just play a best of one?" And they gentlemen say, "Yep, yep, let's do it, sure." And they play just one game.
Yeah. Also, before someone brings up best of two, that's literally what you do in best of two. You don't even like attempt to play a best of two in any matchup. You just immediately go into a best of one. You just agree to best of one, the match, and then you sign the slip 2-0 for the whoever wins the first game. So best of two is like not a solution like to either. It's best of three, and the question is just like how can we improve best of three? And also, this is like actually another thing that I've kind of like fully like fleshed out my opinion on. I'm fine. Like if we have best two out of three, we just get to see so much more depth in terms of gameplay and strategy, in terms of decks and how games can play out. I'm fine if a certain deck and certain matchups are best of one in best two out of three. Like I think that's good. Like I think it's fine. Like it allows for cool, new, different strategies and archetypes to be viable. It doesn't matter if the first game takes 40 minutes. Who cares? You sit down, you see them flip over their active, and you're like, oh, you're playing deck A, and I know when I play this matchup with the deck I'm playing against, we're only going to be playing one game. It's like, okay, so you sit down, you know what you're up against, you know you're going into a one game series. I don't think that's a bad thing because then we get to also have the best two out of three matches where all three games happen and three games conclude, or someone gets donked game one and now you play game two and game three. And then also, but now we can also have matchups where, you know, this deck's games take forever, but it's a cool and interesting gameplay, and we get to see that unfold as well. So, yeah, I'm kind of that's like something I've kind of like fully fleshed out my opinion on. It's like best to by also playing best out of three, we get to just see more of what the Pokemon TCG has to offer, even if that is in the form of some decks and matchups becoming effective best of ones in a best two out of three format. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, um, overall. I just wish we could move past best of one because I would hate it to see. Well, I don't know. I guess if enough of the community wants best of one, maybe it is just better we play best of one. You won't catch me playing at a tournament ever again for sure. But
That's not true.
I would not. I don't think I'd play a best of one major ever. I don't think I'd ever do that. There'd have to be an insane round count for me to even consider it. Um,
Best of one, 28 rounds.
yeah, and I'm not saying there's no flaws. Once again, I'm not saying there's no flaws with our current system, but let's work on improving best two out of three. I think that's what we should. Our focus should be. Personally.
All right, so well, it is time for us to move on to guess that flavor text. But before we do, we of course got to take a moment to thank our fantastic sponsor, Dragon Shield, for supporting us here at the Uncommon Energy podcast. Dragon Shield, of course, makes some of the best card gaming and tabletop gaming products on the market. We love them for their sleeves. They got a ton of new products out now. If you are a Magic the Gathering player, they are now partnered with Magic the Gathering. So they've got like MTG branded sleeves, which is really cool to see. So I'm personally, wishful thinking, hoping one day we'll see that happen for the Pokemon TCG. But in the meantime, they've got plenty of great colors and sleeve types for you to choose from.
Yeah, yeah, be sure to go check them out. That would be pretty sick for sure to see those sleeves in Pokemon form. But yeah, go check them out. Dragonshield.com. Link, of course, will be in the description. Code UEPOD, UEPOD. Get yourself 5% off and directly supports us here on the podcast. Up next, we got Guess That Flavor Text. I'm still in the lead and have a chance this week to continue to grow my lead. Chip's going to read me a flavor text. I'm going to try and guess which Pokemon and card the flavor text belongs to. If I get it right without using a single lifeline, I'll get 4 points like I did a couple weeks ago. Actually, did I get 4? Actually, yeah, I did. A couple of weeks ago. For each lifeline I use, I'll get 1 less point. The lifelines are what set the card is from, what stage the card is, and then read an attack name. Chip, you have this week's flavor text ready for me.
I do indeed, Azul. Yeah, and I've got it here. I will read it now. And yeah, what's the current score? Hang on, I wanted to click in.
41,
You
38.
41 to 38. So you're ahead 3 points still. Still kind of upset about my attempt last week to go for the 4 points. Did not quite work out, but all right. I am ready. Okay, here we go. A Pokemon that lives on icebergs. It swims in the sea using the point on its head to break up ice.
A point on its head. All right, read it to me again.
A Pokemon that lives on icebergs. It swims in the sea using the point on its head to break up ice.
I mean, it could be Avalug. What is is Avalug the stage 1? What is the basic of Avalug?
Avalug is the stage one. The basic is Bergmite.
Bergmite. They both have points. Bergmite has a point on top of its head, and then Avalug is like an iceberg and has like a point at the tip of its head. What stage is the card?
Using a lifeline,
I'm using a lifeline.
it is a basic.
It could be Bergmite. Read it to me one more time.
A Pokemon that lives on icebergs. It swims in the sea
Bergmite.
using the point on its head to break up ice.
I can't think of a Bergmite swimming like that. Has Bergmite got it like that? I don't know if Bergmite's got it like that. Uh This also sounds like it's a not like an evolving basic Pokemon. What else has a point on its head like that? For some reason, like you said, the point on its head, and I thought of well, no, that could be that. It's not even a Pokemon. It's like a real animal. Like you know that like it's
Oh, a
like
narwhal?
a nar. Is it a narwhal? Yeah, a
Narwhal, yeah.
narwhal. Yeah, I thought of a
Dude,
narwhal,
fun
but
fact. I can't believe I'm gonna out her on the podcast like this. Brooke thought that narwhals were like mythical creatures until like within the last like year talking about it with like Samuel or something like that. She like discovered that it's
unicorn
like
of
a
the
real
sea.
animal. Yeah.
All right, so it's got a point on its head. I think I just need to go give. But see, well, give me an give me an attack name. Give me an attack name.
Oh, okay. This is gonna be helpful. All right. So what the flavor text says, it swims in the sea using the point on its head to break up ice. Its attack is freezing headbutt.
See, that feels like it could be a Bergmite attack. Feels like it could be a Bergmite attack. Um, yeah, let's go Bergmite.
Locking it in?
Locking in the Burge.
Well, one more lifeline for those playing along at home. The set the card is from. Do you know what generation Bergmite came out? What era?
No, I have no clue.
It's from this card is from Diamond and Pearl Mysterious Treasures.
Not Bergmite. I think Bergmite came out after that.
Yeah, this is before Bergmite's
Yeah.
time. I'm not gonna lie, Azul. I forgot to pick a card, and so while you were talking about Dragon Shield, I was like panic having to. I was scrolling through PKMing cards, the random tab, trying to find something. This is what I landed on. I was like, oh my gosh, this is not going to be good enough. But luckily, it was. This card is
Dude,
Seal.
I thought of the seal Pokemon and I could not picture a point on their
Yeah,
heads.
yeah.
I thought of this, like, I thought because the narwhal popped in my head. I was like, is there a narwhal Pokemon? I was like, no, there's not. Then I thought of like the seals. I was like, they don't have points on their heads, but the seal actually
He's got
does.
a
Got a
point,
little
bro.
spike. Yeah.
Dugong does as well.
Freezing headbutt. I think I would have been able to suss out that Bergmite was not a Diamond and Pearl card. Like, I think I would have been able to, like, that's, I think he's a little bit too new. I don't know
Yeah.
where I would have gone from there, to be honest.
Dude, I've always loved Seal. This is a great Pokemon. He's just like a derpy little guy.
He's got hands as feet. Or hands on his tail.
He's got it all. The little tongue, like he's just a funny guy. Yeah, literally. I as you were reading on what's it called, I was doing this. I was like scrolling through, like clicking on like a card, like okay, maybe he doesn't know. Okay, we'll do. Oh no, that's not gonna be good. Okay, random again. Let's check again. Kept going,
Yeah, that is how I
and the
find most
seal
of
came
mine.
through for me. Let's get it.
That's usually how I find most of my flavor text, but usually I do it before we start recording. Sometimes. I've had, like, I think maybe once or twice where I've had to, like, panic find a card while we're getting close to the flavor text.
Well, Azul, better luck next week or in 2 weeks because next week your boy is going to be picking up some points. That is the plan. That's what I'm going to make it my goal next week, even if it's just a point. I'm getting back on the board next week.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
All right. And next up, our final topic here, we're going to talk about the Mega Dream release over in Japan and then also the Champions League Aichi, which is taking place this weekend. Now, yeah, Mega Dream has officially released over there. There are no city leagues happening currently, so we can't do like a city league watch ahead of the event. And there was also no Champions League in the Phantasmal Flames slash aka the Inferno X format, which is their Phantasmal Flames set. So this is a pretty big this is a pretty big Champions League for them because there's a lot of cards that are going to be legal now for the first time.
Yeah, didn't have Phantasmal Flames. They did have City Leagues during Phantasmal Flames, and also City Leagues just like stopped with the release of uh Mega Dream. So they have not been playing even locally with this new set. So we don't really have, I feel like, much to go off of at all. I haven't even seen like anyone tweet like deck lists out or anything. Um yeah, I feel like pretty disconnected from the scene over in Japan right now and what's going on. But they do have a Champions League coming up this week, and I'm going to be watch partying it. They're only streaming day 2, I think, once again, which is kind of unfortunate. So I'll be streaming on Saturday evening, West Coast time for day 2 of Champions League. Catch the final rounds of Swiss and then the top cut, of course. But it's kind of, yeah, we're kind of going in pretty blind here. We don't even have like an expectation for what new combos people are kind of coming up with or anything like that.
So this is a reprint set. So there's a bunch of cards that have been good over the past 12 months that are being reprinted here, but there's also a handful of powerful new cards, similar to like Prismatic Evolutions of last year. Let's actually, I just want to show off a couple of the like cards getting new artworks and stuff. I think a lot of people are excited about the Dracloak and Dreepy finally getting like high rarity versions of those.
That's our boy Jerky right there.
Yes, yes. Shout out to Jerky, our favorite artist, with the illustration there. And there's a fan Rotom full art for the first time. I actually saw someone tweet like, dude, who, like, of course, like complaining about this Pokemon getting like an illustration rare. And it's just like so funny to see like the collector opinion versus the obviously like most of the players who like high rarity cards are going to be pretty pumped about this one, right?
Yeah, dude, and it
More
just gets.
full art items as well, which is
I
cool.
feel like that whole side of things is just getting worse by the day, bro. I hate it, bro. It's just so cringe. Like, I just don't. I can't empathize or like. Usually you can like see someone have a take or a response to something. You know what? You're like, you know what? I think they're wrong, but like I can like, I feel for them or like I can like rationalize their situation. And it's like these people are just idiots. Like, what am I reading? Like, what is this? Is this real? Like, I cannot, and I see so much more of it now because it's like, I'm sure if you're in this crypto space or whatever, you'd see the kind of stuff we're seeing all the time. But now I just see it more often because it's like they're all entering the Pokemon side of things, and I'm just like, you know what? Maybe it is just the dead internet theory, and they're just all bots. That would make way more sense than people actually genuinely thinking and typing these things and then sending it out in a tweet. Because it's just like some of the silliest stuff I have like ever seen as far as takes on literally anything. So yeah, I don't know. And it gets worse. It feels like it's getting worse. Like it's only getting worse. They've not left. I can't wait for the bubble to pop on Pokemon and they all just go away. I'm so excited for it.
A lot of new SARs, and then they got these guys, the manga rares or whatever they're called, mega attack rare.
I really like these artworks.
I mean, this card is just sick.
I actually don't like the Charizard one that much.
Nah, dude, this is the best one for sure.
I like the legs. Where's the legs at? Not Symphonia. This actually the Gardevoir one is pretty sick as well though.
Oh, the Halucha or
No,
no?
no, Outlaw leg. The Scrafty.
Oh, some of these you can barely even see the Pokemon. That's why I like the Charizard one, because the it feels like
Yeah.
Charizard is front and center. Like, dude, where is the Gardevoir even on this card? I don't know. It's like,
So like right there, like where it says Mega Symphonia, like
do you don't
under
see
it
what
to
I
the
mean
right.
though?
No, I get it a little bit like the Electros. Like go click on the Electros.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I can see that for sure. Lorelai made the same comment on the Electros one, I think, as well. But like one I think they did really well, like in that same vein, was the Dragonite.
Dragonite's good. Yeah,
I think they were. It honestly feels like they were afraid to put stuff behind the text of like the ability and the attack. Um,
I do think they try to avoid that.
but like Dragonite looks. This one is one of the best ones, if not the best one. Everything fits so well with
Yeah,
the attack text and the Pokemon there. Like this one here, like this, it feels like it's all, and that's what Lorelai made a comment on this one. It's like all scrunched at the top,
yeah,
like afraid to put it behind the text of the attack and the ability. But I think they should, like, once you see them get in there with the Dragonite, it's like, oh, it looks better. They with the extra room. Same thing with Diancie, right? I feel like the Diancie one's super sick as well.
yeah. This is a good one. This is a good one. Also, this little guy.
Yeah, it looks like a old school video game style artwork.
This is
Pikachu.
James Turner. He also did the uh Duskull, Dusclops, Dusknoir full arts from Shrouded Fable.
Oh, this is that's like a completely different style too. Wait, the ones with the like where they're like spooky outside the house and all that kind of stuff.
Yes. It's
Yeah,
pretty,
yeah.
I don't know, I feel like it's like
Oh,
kind of
I
that
guess.
similar, like cartoony, like
Sure,
it's
I
almost
guess I
like
see that.
American cartoony versus Japanese cartoony.
I do see that a little bit more. I guess it's just like how simple the Pikachu is, right? Just
Yeah.
like just a Pikachu plain background kind of deal.
And then we got this guy with his dogs out. Well, what cards are the new cards that you think most people should be uh thinking about as we head into this set? Obviously, there's tons of reprints here. Like we just saw, we scroll past Badoo, like Crustle, Shaman. Like these are all cards that are good that like we know about. But is there anything in here that is a standout to you that is maybe a little more under the radar?
Well, I feel like the main one has to be Zekrom. Oh, a little bit more under the radar. Excuse me, under the radar. Um, not really. Like,
It does feel kind of weak, doesn't it?
yeah. I mean, there's like a lot of like little upgrades for decks, but they're all pretty obvious. Yeah, there's nothing like under the radar in terms of like, okay, I think this has like actual potential, and it's not really being talked about. Maybe I would say Dragonite. Like I have higher hopes for Dragonite than I would say probably the average player, the average person in the game does right now. But even then, I'm not like sold on it being like a top meta deck or anything like that. But it's like kind of the biggest. Oh, I guess like Canary. Maybe Canary is the card that I would look to, and we might not see its full potential with the current card pool. But there's always more Lightning Pokemon in the future. I think Iono's Belly Bolt. becomes way better with Canary. Is it gonna be good enough? I'm not sure. But yeah, I would say Canary maybe is the card for me that I'm looking at as being like really, really powerful, really cool card.
Not under the radar at all, but it feels like the biggest card from this set has to be In's Zekrom, right?
Definitely. Yeah, by far. And the question is, I mean, if Stuttgart tells us anything, seems like Zekrom or Zorark's not in a great spot. Will Zekrom be able to change that around, or do we just need the Zorark heads to kind of show up at a tournament? I think we could see a different story in terms of Zorark results at Toronto compared to Stuttgart, but that is a ways away.
You could just like, and does Zork kind of change the way it's played, where like now you can be like a push for a one hit KO deck, right?
Yeah,
With
you can definitely be
the
like the aggressor.
binding Mochi plus like a perilous jungle, right? Or like, oh no, that doesn't work. We're not
No.
poisoning the active. It would have to be like brute bonnet. We're not. I don't think we're
Yeah.
doing all that.
Yeah, just binding Mochi would get you there. Yeah, you can like you can change up how you play the deck for sure. It can almost be built more like how Liam Halberton played the deck, but you don't have to play the Darmanitan to have the prize trade edge as the game progresses, probably.
Still not
You
getting
can
there against the
just
stage twos though, right?
yeah, still coming up against short against those. So it still might have to be a little bit more conservative of a style of deck, but you have like more options than you used to, right? Like the options are more powerful. I mean, yeah, just kind of having like if you just think about like having that rampaging thunder attack just in general, like I mean, you probably still play Pecharunt, but like you definitely don't need Ursaluna anymore, right? That's not even a consideration to play Ursaluna in the deck. So that's kind of cool that you don't even have to think about that. Black Belt's training probably becomes like a more powerful card in the deck because it just combos with all your Zork's attacks, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it opens up a lot of opportunities for how you can build the deck and stuff like that. So definitely excited to see what comes of Zorark with that release for sure.
One other thing
Um,
to note with the Champions League this weekend is that this is actually going to be a format that we don't ever have, because when we get uh the heroes, gosh, what's it called? Heroes,
Ascended, Heroes Ascending.
ascending heroes.
Where are they going?
Up.
Is it Ascended
Uh,
Heroes up?
no, that doesn't sound right.
No, isn't it? Isn't it Ascended or Heroes Ascended? Ascending Heroes? Ascended Heroes. It is Ascended Heroes.
Okay, ascended heroes.
Yeah.
All right, my bad. Um I mean, we know that we're gonna get the Mega Charizard Y in this set,
Yep.
and it's not legal. It's not out yet in Japan because this comes in the start deck 100. And you said they're not out
Yep.
yet. You're pretty sure, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think they come out sometime in December, but not for the. They won't be legal for Champions League.
So, assuming that we're gonna get Mega Charizard Y EX, we're also gonna get Pokepad, which is kind of the biggest
Yeah.
one that they're not gonna have access to. Like, this is not like a format that we're gonna ever play.
Yeah. Which actually, that's more common than a form where we play a format that Japan doesn't play. And probably if it's going to go one way or the other, it should probably be this way, right? It's probably better for Japan to have a format that we don't get than for us to have a format that Japan never had. Because when we get to Ascended Heroes, we'll be at the same place where Japan is. Like Japan will get their 100 deck
Start deck
cards.
100.
Yeah, and then we'll be on the same format that so we'll still be playing the same format they played, but it is unfortunate, yeah. And that's kind of one of the things with this lineup. Also, like another thing is like the last major tournament that happens before the month and a half break is a format with Mega Dream, and then a month and a half from now, we go back to the next major tournament being Phantasmal Flames. So as like um a spectator of the game, as a player of the game, it doesn't I don't think matters as much. But as a spectator of the game, especially like me doing like the watch parties and stuff, that kind of feels bad. Like we're gonna get to watch Champions League with Mega Dream, then there's a month and a half to break, and we're going back to Phantasmal Flames for like 3 or 4 weeks in a row. Like I don't know. That's just kind of it's once again just kind of a feels bad of the release schedule of everything. Which always comes up every time Japan gets a new set. I feel like I always bring it up. Another feels bad. And like you
After
said,
pl-
yeah, we don't even get to play this format that Japan gets. We don't even get to even try it out.
after playing with towards Mega Charizard X EX deck, what are your opinions on this card?
Um, man, I mean, I think you'd probably slot one. Dude, Charizard could just be like a really weird hodgepodge. Like it could be like a 4-2-4, but it's like 2 EX. one Charizard Y, one Charizard X, because this is like a pretty powerful attack. 280, like, and you could like
It's really powerful.
if you're playing Pidgeot, you can play Ignition Energy, and you can go back to back Explosion Ys. Like your opponent's Zorarchs are not safe on the bench. You're just gonna be sniping them off the bench. It does come up short on the bigger KOs, but you can hit the active with this as well. You can play Maximum Belt, and you can KO a Charizard EX or a Dragapult with this attack as well. And honestly, with the Ignition Energy, this is less costly than a Charizard X attack as well. Overall, because you're not losing all your energy. You have to get the Ignition involved, but you can still play
You could
Oricorio and
also
Superior.
the ignition seems a little silly to me. L-
Hater, man.
n- I almost feel like you could do this just like Oricorio and like overload
Yeah,
this thing as well, right? Like that's a nice aspect of it too. Like it's not discard all, it's discard three. So you can
yep.
overload this fella.
Yeah, for sure. That is just a lot of damage to the bench. It is like in between though, right? It's like way more than enough to KO Pheasantipity, but it's not enough to KO like a Charizard EX or a Dragapult. It does KO Pidgeot though. Dude,
Yeah.
Charizard mirrors are going to be silly now. It's just going to be box
This
the
definitely
Pidgeot
feels
off
like
the
a pretty
bench.
good card, right?
Yeah. Is there something we can play to protect our Pidgeot? Can we get something on him? Hero Escape the Pidgeot? Then we can't play Maximum Belt?
Rabska.
Rabska? Okay, Rabska the Pidgeot. All right, we're good to go.
Rabska, yeah, put the Rabska on top of Pidgeot, and then
Uh,
they would never snipe it because it's a Rabska.
yeah.
They don't care about Rabska.
Yeah, why would you ever
Also,
attempt to snipe a
they couldn't,
Rabska?
but all right. Well, let's do a couple predictions here for the Champions League this weekend. First one, it is going to be a top 32 cut. That's what they've changed to now with
Yeah.
the new system in the last few months. So, what do you think will be the highest placing Mega Dream card from the new set? Not including reprints. Like you can't pick Badoo, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, I wanna say Canary. Canary's just, like, such a super cool card. Um, I'm not gonna be lame and say Zekrom, although I don't even know how much faith I have in Zorarch right now in general.
Yeah,
Let's go with Night Mine. Yeah, let's go with Night Mine. Maybe there's some deck out there that can just, like, play 3 Night Mines, because, like, if you like, once again, I've said this before about the
dude.
card, Zorarch,
What
Dragapult,
is your
Charizard,
obsession with
Dragapult.
these bad stadiums right now? Holy cow.
4
Night Mine,
Mine, put
Battle
'em all in
Cage,
there.
like
4 Night Mine, 4 Crushing Hammer, 4, what is the hammer Pokemon? We have a new stage 1, flip a coin
oh,
flip.
Tinka
Yeah,
Tough.
4 Tough, 4 Night I'm going Night Mine, highest placing card.
Dude, imagine a quad, like a 4/4 Jellicent deck with Crushing Hammers and Night Mine.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone's gonna play it. So I don't think it's gonna be Night Mine for sure. I think it would be cool to see Canary. I definitely don't think I'm not as hype on that card, I feel like, as you are.
Dude, 4 lightning Pokemon? Dude, you're just like, I
It's
don't dude, that is
good.
so good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's gotta be the right thing though. I actually dude, I don't even
True.
know what card. I mean, this set feels kind of meh, to be honest. I think it would be cool to see. I think that there's potential with the Mega Frost Last. I don't think it's that great right now for sure. But it's just like in a Gholdengo or a
You convinced me a little bit more on it for sure after we talked about it last week or whatever. It was like early game attacking potential. It's like, okay, maybe there is.
like you're playing a 1/1 Frost Last and you just like can one hit KO something. Like that seems pretty
Fireball 'em up
good.
to 6. Bonk.
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
So yeah, I don't know what else I would pick besides that, honestly. That or Spectrier. Maybe Spectrier. Someone Gardevoir might play the Spectrier. I'm down for that. I think that card's pretty good.
Yeah. You see that pop up in a Guardy build or 2, I think, for sure.
Okay. Next one. Will there be a new archetype in cuts? And for this, we're going to include Phantasmal Flames stuff
Yeah.
as well because they've not had Inferno X legal for a tournament. So that'll include like it won't include Mega Diancie and Mega Gengar because they did have that for Champions League, right?
Yeah, they did have those earlier cards.
But
We don't have to predict the archetype, right? We're just saying yes or no.
yes or no.
Yeah. We'll let them figure out the creative part of it all. I'm gonna go yes. I just want to believe. Even if it is just like a Mega Lopunny Dusknoir deck, right? Because that would
Yeah.
qualify. I want something new, something fresh in cut. I'm hoping it's something different. I'm hoping it's something with Canary, but might be a little hopeful.
I'm also gonna say yes, and I think it is most likely going to be a Lopunny deck, but I also could see, something else getting in there for sure,
Dragonite?
like the Frostlass, of course. Frostlass
Yeah, of
plus,
course.
what's
Yeah.
it called? Frostlass Frostmoth,
Ooh, okay.
staying frosty. Would you count, Terra Pikachu EX deck that was centered around Light Ball as, like, a new deck?
It would have to be like quite a bit different than
Right.
just Joltik Box.
Yeah.
That would have
I
to be
think
like
that is a
obviously the focus.
that could also honestly be the card that we see be highest placing Mega Dream card, the
Yeah,
ball,
I
the
could
light
see it. I
ball.
mean, I think that's a pretty big buff to Joltik Box, so it could be even just we could just see Joltik Box.
So I'm gonna say yes for the new archetype thing, but I think it's more likely it's going to be something from Inferno X. Like I think it could be
Yeah.
Mega Charizard XEX or Lopunny before it's Dragonite or Electros or anything like that. All right, and then finally, 32 players in Top Cut, Azul over under 10.5
Ooh.
Gholdengo in cut. And
Ah,
that is a lot of Gholdengo.
but it's just kind of been the deck recently. I was actually gonna bring this up when we were talking about Stuttgart, but if you look at like the top
Yeah.
16, there was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was almost half. One of those was the Golden Go Joltik box, of course, but that is just like and it's kind of been doing that pretty consistently these last couple tournaments, I feel like. It's been like the most popular deck in cut, or if not there, it's like tied. Like it's right there. Gotta respect it. Or it
10
kind of
is a
just is the
lot.
deck
Maybe we're kind
on
of crazy
top.
for setting the line at 10 and a half.
It's a top 32 though.
Yeah, but I'm looking at like these top 32s. There's kind of a lot of
I feel like Golden Go is
decks.
like peaking right now. Like I feel like
It
it's
also feels like a deck that is, I know you hate this, but maybe a better best of one deck than something like a Grimmsnarl or a Gardevoir or
I mean, Grimsharl's not good in any best of. You can do best of 32. Grimsharl is still a bad
best of 32. Dude, is Grimmsnarl your most hated deck now over Dragapult?
No,
Has
no. It's
Dragapult
just
been dethroned?
Grimsharl is like aggressively mid though. Like it's like so mid.
Was it so
Yeah.
much better when you played it at NAIC than it is right now?
Definitely quite a bit better. There was a moment where it's probably better than that though. After Worlds, I don't really remember exactly the timeline, but NAIC still might have been its best moment overall. I don't. No, no, no. There was a time more recently where it's been a better play. Um, yeah, NAIC because they still have to fight up against like Raging Bolts and stuff, which is obviously not great.
Mhm.
Maybe like Milwaukee might have been like Milwaukee timeline. But, like Milwaukee was. I think going into Milwaukee, I was like, I thought it was like pretty decent, but we didn't know about the Tord deck then, and that's a bad matchup. So it looked decent going into Milwaukee, and Salazar even got top cut within Milwaukee. But now that once Mega Absol kind of established itself, Grim like fell even further down.
Over under 10.5 Golden Go.
I'm going over. It's taking over.
Over.
Yep.
I'm gonna go under. I think that there will be quite a few, but I think it might be like 9 or 10 even, and the line's at 10 and a half. So
All right.
I'm gonna take the under.
Bold prediction there, Chip.
Almost as bold as predicting. How many Battle Cage did you want to see in Top Cut at Stuttgart?
Or well, I believe in like one person, like Tord coming up with a quad battle
Like
cage.
a Alakazam player, right?
Yeah.
You
Sure,
thought
sure.
Alakazam was gonna
No.
get Top Cut?
I just thought we'd see something cool or different or sometimes there's just nothing out there. Sometimes you're just hoping, like you can't find anything, and you're like, "Well, I can't find anything." But there's so many other players who play the Pokemon TCG. Maybe one of them finds something, and then they don't find anything either. And then
And they
no one
just
has
disappoint
anything.
you.
Yeah, and then we don't have any battle cages in cut.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for our episode this week, unless you got anything else you want to say before we get to our bonus episode.
No, I think that'll do it. I will be watch partying Champions League, like I mentioned. Also, gonna be streaming a League Cup on Saturday as well.
Okay.
As I've been doing a lot the last week or so, getting all the gear I need and like testing everything to make sure everything's working fine. So I think I got everything set up correctly
You solo
at the
casting it?
yeah, I'll be solo casting it at the place. I had to troubleshoot figuring out how to make a longer HDMI cable work. But apparently there's like powered HDMI cables. Those things exist. I didn't know that was a thing, but I figured that solution out. So should be all good to go. Yeah, that's on Saturday as well. So I'll be doing the League Cup. I might miss like the first round of Champions League or something like that. And then I'll be getting back home and then streaming
But he's got to
Champions
sleep
League.
sometime.
Yeah. So that is that's what I'll be up to this weekend. So make sure you tune into the stream on Saturday for sure.
Very cool. Hope it goes well, bud. Yeah, thanks a bunch to everyone as always for listening. If you did enjoy, please be sure to leave us a like, review, rating, comment, subscribe. All those things help us out a bunch. Let us know you're enjoying the content. Like I mentioned at the beginning, if you're not currently following or subscribed to the channel, be sure to double check, make sure you are, and click those buttons and make sure you don't ever miss an episode. Help us out with our metrics as well, make us feel nice. And then if you want to stay up to date with everything we got going on, the best place to do it is over on X. You can follow myself at Chip Ritchie. Azul is at Azul_GG. You can also follow the podcast at Uncommon_Energy.
Yep. Catch y'all next Wednesday, 7 a.m. Eastern.